What would life be like if you lived in an AI-motivated world, in an AI-driven world, where people don't make decisions, but robots do? Check this out.
A drone blocks the man's way. The drone says that he has been arrested and then hands him a pair of handcuffs. The man claims that he hasn't done anything. The drone ignores completely. It explains that if a suspect refuses to be arrested, it would promptly take coercive steps. The man has to put on the handcuffs obediently. He follows the drone to the prison, where there is also no human supervision. He packs his things in a box. A conveyor belt brings a set of clothes for him to change into. Guided by AI, he enters the prison cell. The door is swiftly shut down. The screen introduces prison rules. The man doesn't feel like listening. He wants to figure out why he is arrested. On the screen, there are details on multiple lawyers. The man randomly chooses a highly rated one. Hiring a lawyer would cost unexpectedly $10,000. The man can't afford it. He chooses the free public defender. After computer calculation, he has an 89% chance of being convicted. The sentence is 45 to 47 years. The man wants to know what he did wrong. But the other party suggests he pleads guilty ASAP. This will reduce the sentence by 5 to 7 years or more. The man is almost going crazy.
Plead guilty to what?
Are you sure you want to plead guilty? Please repeat the words. Plead guilty.
He clearly didn't do anything, but it seems like everything is leading him to confess voluntarily. The man wonders what charges he faces. The other party just informs him that the trial is in 90 days. The man requests a conversation with a real human person. He says he wants to call the local police station. Terms and conditions appear on the screen. He agrees, without even looking at them. The call is quickly connected, but the person on the other end is still an AI, and says the man needs to wait if want to connect with real person. The man waits for hours. He is jolted awake by beeping sounds. The AI ends the call and the display account has no funds left. The previous call is billed $3 per minute. The man says, it's just a chaotic charging system. But AI brings up the previous clause. It's indeed $3 per minute, and this clause is driving the man crazy. He constantly complains in the cell. AI ignores him, waiting for his rant to end. He rests on the bed. AI asks if he wants to turn off the lights. Turning off lights requires payment. The man is locked up like this. The next day AI offers him prison cell services. It suggests he can work in prison too. And will earn wages through labor. The man opts for crafting by hand. A box is sent and he begins knitting sweaters as directed. Anyway, he has plenty of time to finish knitting and send out the products. The account's money increases by a few cents too. This makes the man see hope again. He tries to weave more complex clothes. The food he eats daily will be subtracted from his pay. The man keeps knitting non-stop and the money in his account slowly grows. Until one day, he finally saves up $5. The man wants to call. He chooses to call his mom this time. The call is connected successfully. He is about to make it short, but his mother starts nagging directly. Seeing his balance dwindle, the man promptly interrupts and says he is locked up in prison and needs his mother's help. At this time, the father appears on screen. Also inquires about what happened. Only $2 remains in the phone bill. The man says he is trapped here. He needs $10,000 and hopes his parents can help him by hiring a lawyer. Otherwise, he'll never go out. The phone call is abruptly ended by the system. The funds run out and the AI jumps out again. It inquires if he will plead guilty. The man angrily shouts, but then calms down. He could only knit the sweater. One day, the man is about to eat. A drone flies over and says, "It is already time for the court hearing. Ask him if he admits guilt or not." Admitting guilt can lead to a shorter sentence. 5 to 7 years deduction. The man despairs, realizing he cannot escape. It seems that he is trapped.
Please say, I plead guilty to accept.
Wait!
Please state your plea.
Wait!
Do you want to enter a guilty plea? Please say, I plead guilty to accept.
I plead guilty.
AI let him confirm one last time if he admits guilt. The man sees an unread message now. He opens it and finds out that his mother has sent him money. He immediately denies his guilt and requests to see a lawyer right away. The lawyer quickly calls the man. But, before he could speak, the lawyer says he has already reviewed the file, advising him to plead guilty promptly due to the tricky nature of the case. The man claims innocence. The lawyer glances at the man and compares it to the file in his hand. He asks the man to wait for a moment and then hangs up the phone. And $10,000 is gone in an instant. The man loses his last hope. Then he starts to let it be. AI's voice sounds again, and the man can leave now. He leaves the cell in a daze. He gets his stuff at the door. His phone is filled with unanswered texts. Because he didn't pay the rent. The house was reclaimed, and his job was terminated by the boss. Before leaving, the man receives a promotional brochure sent by the prison. The textile factory provides job opportunities for people who have been released from prison.
A world controlled by AI with no human intervention. I didn't watch all of that before, you know. Huh?
How did it get out?
I don't know, bruv. Bruv, it's a short film. You know what? You could probably watch the film. Maybe it's on Amazon. I can copy it and you can watch it. But I don't even know, bruv. I don't even know. That was obviously, you know, because they don't want to get their video taken down. So obviously they're narrating over it, not really playing the film and all that kind of stuff. I think what I actually watched was something similar. Was actually the movie, but it was in a very small window. So it was ages ago. I had to search to find the film because I didn't even know what it was called. But yeah, that was a bit of a crazy. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's scary, bro.
Bro, it's crazy, isn't it? It's quite a crazy scenario.
That's scary. Like,
Robots making decisions without emotion.
But even if it's just not robots, but if we lived in a world where people had control over your life through the computer system, like someone can access your computer, put something on your computer, say that you was doing something, and that can cause you to go jail. Do you know what I mean? It's like it is very. But even in terms of like the whole AI thing, I feel like we have that now. Do you ever like find that? So say for example, you want to call a company. I had it with Virgin.
Yeah,
it was stressful. I had to cancel the contract because I had left where I was staying. Like no matter how many times I called, it would always, basically the way that they did it was that like you either pay or you don't speak to anyone. So like whatever avenue you picked, it would always
take
go
you back to paying.
Yeah, it would always take you back to paying or nobody would answer.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so frustrating. I had to wait until they had sent the amount, even overall, like I actually got bumped. I had to pay it.
Wow.
They sent the amount to a debt collecting company.
Yeah.
I tried to argue with them. They said, no, you have to call Virgin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
but
what
when
it
you
goes.
call Virgin
Can't
will
get
pick
through.
up.
Did you try different numbers? Loads of different numbers and all that?
Bro, I tried numbers. I tried doing...
Did you email them?
I emailed.
Yeah.
They never got back to me.
Wow, that's crazy.
I used the online chat.
Yeah, online
thing.
chat, yeah.
Bruv, you wait, but and then we can't find this, we can't find that. Or sometimes you're waiting for 2-3 hours for someone to respond back, then it just locks off.
Bro, that's ombudsman now.
Definitely.
Yeah, ombudsman would have finished them, bro.
I was frustrated, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, this thing reminds me, obviously not
that bad,
deep, but
yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that stuff.
Yeah, I think, and this is totally conjecture from watching this with you guys. I never watched, I'm trying to think, I can't remember how much of it I watched or what I saw really before, but I just remember the concept, the general concept, and I scrambled it even when I was trying to explain it to you guys before. It wasn't exactly the same. But I think from that solicitor clocked he was the wrong person. Because remember it said it looked at the picture, looked at him again, then the thing locked off. So I think he got him out. But obviously his life was already...
It's ruined, yeah.
You know what I mean? Lost his house, lost his thing. His mum, he owes his mum 10 jibs. Do you know what I'm
At
saying?
that point though, when the story went that way, in my mind, my feeling was like, well, at least you're not in prison.
No, brother, true.
The way
Bruv.
he was going on like in prison, like...
What did they say, 45 years or something like that, bro?
45 to 47 years.
Oh, that was nuts.
And if he would have pleaded guilty, they would have just knocked for 5 years.
So when I was searching for this, I tell you what's funny. I think they said he was arrested because he farted.
No way.
I think that's what it was. I think that's what... This is one of those short movies from Cannes, I think it was. So I think that robot nicked him because he farted on the street, I think it was.
The funny thing as well, you see at the beginning where they were like, the Rock comes up to him and says, you're under arrest. and man says, "What you under arrest for?" And then they showed the taser.
Yeah.
It's like in my mind, I was like, "So what if the robot tasered him? What's gonna happen next?"
Yeah, we'll just drag him in it. We'll pick him up and drag him in
You
it.
can pick him up.
Obviously,
and
that's what they're trying to.
take him
That's
to
what they're
jail.
trying to present, isn't it? That's what they're trying to present.
The other thing I was thinking
And
through it
passed
is,
wind on the street, and he got shifted.
would you confess to
Imagine.
something you didn't do?
Bro, people do that all the time. People have done that in the past, bro. You know that. People do
Yeah.
things under duress. And I think that is partly what we're seeing in that scenario there. The stress. Remember we spoke before, one of those videos about overcoming stress. People that don't have high stress tolerances, bruv. And I shouldn't even say that, but anyone, I think, can find themselves in a situation where little children do it to their parents all the time, innit? Like you told them off for something and whatever, and they'll say something in an endeavor to lie or whatever, to own something or not own something. So, it's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility, isn't it?
But even scenarios like even if you don't, like I remember watching a documentary on Khalif Browder. I don't know if you guys ever came across that.
Yeah.
The
That was-
reminder
Is that
Ronaldo-
the
Painful.
Netflix one?
Yeah.
The
I
Netflix.
can't remember if it was Netflix.
was that the sports guy?
Or it was paint. Nah,
The guy
some
who
young
went to
boy,
prison.
young boy. So him and his boys walking, and then they get stopped.
Mm.
They get stopped by someone, and the person's like, "Oh, you guys just robbed someone." It's like, "No, we didn't. No, we didn't." So, and they explain. They say that it was him. So they take him to jail, and the whole time they're saying that he's got to plead guilty. But he's like, no, I didn't do nothing. Like, he's a young boy.
Yeah.
Like, that was his first offense. So if he would have pleaded guilty, I think he would have been let out. So even the judge saying that, just plead guilty. But obviously he's young. So he's just like, no, it doesn't make sense for me to say that I did something when I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Bruv, man got given jail time. Then he was in
Consolatory
consolatory
yeah.
confinement, yeah. So then he was...
Solitary confinement, excuse me. Yeah.
yeah. Then he was in there for, I think, 3 years.
Wow.
3 years, you see him in jail scrapping bare people because he's not part of a gang. You know what I mean? He doesn't live that life. But this, like, he had to plead guilty basically. I think his story caught wind by I think Jay-Z or someone else.
Right.
Like his story caught wind, so they eventually spoke to the board, found out that it wasn't him. The guy who grasped on him, who said it was him, didn't want to come to court, flew to another country.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So, bruv, the guy's whole life got
That was
ruined.
like his brethren, basically.
No, just random person just said it was him, just randomly.
That's
bro.
a mad thing.
But bruv, America is a scary place. At least from what I hear, like
That's a mad thing. That's a mad thing.
it's like man said it was him, and just because of that, boom, you're going jail. No, let's check CCTV. Was it really him?
Yeah, that's a foolish thing, though, isn't it? Really?
Bruv, and the thing is, when he come out of jail, I think there was like a woman that did like a show. She had one of them daytime TV shows, and so she brought him on. Then she was like, "Oh, we're really sorry about what happened to you," but by then it was too late. Man was in that solitary confinement for like 3 years by himself, bro. So obviously that drives you. So because obviously when he came out, he then went back to where he was living, and so now people in his hood, it's like, oh, you think you're somebody because you've been on TV, red hair, this, that, and the other. But the guy hung himself.
Shut up. That's
He
a
couldn't
mad
take
thing.
it, bruv. He couldn't take it. It's
That's a
like
mad thing.
the whole time he's just saying, I just don't understand why this is happening. Like,
That's crazy.
I just don't get what this is happening. I just don't get what this is happening. That was like, that one there, like that hit hard. I was like, oh, like really?
Yeah, his name's familiar. That name sounds familiar, though. That's sad, man. It's sad when
was really sad.
It's sad when the society we live in and the institutions that are established don't do what they're supposed to do
Yeah.
and operate in the way they're supposed to operate with the right checks and balances to ensure things are done well. And, you know, bruv, it's like, you know, people cut corners, man. People cut corners for all
That's what I'm
sorts of
saying.
reasons.
Like, wow, like you see a police officer, a lot of people, don't get me wrong, like definitely, I don't think you should just go around like saying every single police officer is bad. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not right.
Yeah.
The same time as well, it's like you got to remember, like that person is just in uniform, but they are ultimately them. So if they are racist or they are hateful, whatever, like they're sickos or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like that's just them in a police suit, in
Yeah.
a police uniform.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
that guy from way back, innit? We're here now. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Remember the lady and the guy that bust
Yeah,
shots?
Cop, yeah.
Yeah, that policeman that bust shots. But it's like, you're right. And we've spoken about, cognitive biases, those kind of things. Like, people will always be people. Do you know what I'm
This is it.
saying?
Yeah.
Operating from either the spirit of light or from the spirit of darkness, bruv. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
We have to remember those things.
And he's even spotting it, even like us as individuals, is like, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, like I see people like, especially like the whole road rage thing. Like, that's why I'm glad here. Like we don't carry,
Yeah.
because if it comes down to it, maybe you scrap. That's the most.
Yeah.
You both go about your business. Do you know what I mean? But it's so easy to do that, and then someone's lost their life, and for what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It weren't even that deep.
Yeah, obviously all the youths today, that's what I was saying. I was talking about those guys previously who murdered that young person. I didn't really follow it up. And probably it's like that, there's a lot of shank men around there today. These lot are carrying Rambos, all kind of Zoras, all different kind of tools that can take life, bro. So obviously a gun is a lethal weapon, but people are utilising, kitchen utensils now as lethal weapons, bruv, and
that's
stuff
more
like
so
that.
the
Bruv,
young people, innit?
it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's
You know
crazy.
what I mean, the young people nowadays, boy, it's a lot of things.
Yeah, they value they value their community or their gang more so than the wider community. Do you know what I mean? And that's crazy. It's crazy. Like your guys operate on one road, bruv, or a couple roads, or an estate, or maybe even like let's even say a whole town or parts of a town. When you could be, you choose to have an affiliation with that community, as opposed to, and value that community as opposed to valuing the wider community of the world. You could be a person that travels anywhere, goes anywhere. Over time, you build up to that position. You can travel and do what you like in the world, but yet because you have an affiliation to, one little postal code, probably it's crazy.